Good evening, everyone. This is Robert. RJO Network presents another exciting edition of Inside Pitch Advanced. The 1980 season is on the air. Today's date is August 9th, 1980. We are at Exhibition Stadium for an important American League matchup between the Kansas City Royals and the Toronto Blue Jays. The Royals are running away with the American League West. They're 72-37. Right now, it looks like no one's going to catch them. The Oakland Athletics are about 11 games back of them. The Blue Jays, a record of 56-51. They are right now in fourth place in the American League East, and they're a game back of Detroit. The Tigers are in third right now. So right now, every win for the Blue Jays is important as the Royals are trying to go ahead and get even closer to wrapping up the American League West and probably the number one seed in the American League. Of course, the last time we saw the Kansas City Royals, Larry Gura pitched my first ever inside pitch no-hitter here on the network. Will they do it again? I'm not confident about that, but who knows what can happen in inside pitch. Cutter Historical, Ben Witz, and Philip Reynolds are first to join us here at Exhibition Stadium. The Blue Jays historically won this game 4-3. They had 17 hits and 3 errors. The Royals had 8 hits and an error. But we all know inside pitch has a mind of its own. Yes, how about those? How about the USA winning the gold medal? Oh, one thing I should mention about that, Philip Reynolds. Guess who is one of the assistant general managers of the USA hockey team? You guessed it, Bill Zito, GM of the Florida Panthers. Of course, we'd win the whole thing. So, the Royals and the Blue Jays, a good matchup here at Exhibition Stadium. One of the weirder stadiums they actually played in Major League history. But we'll see what happens tonight as the Royals and the Jays will match up in a big game. Let's get started. Starting pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays tonight is Dave Stieb. I have no problem putting Stieb in the Hall of the Very Good. 12 wins, 15 losses, a 3.71 ERA. He was only 22 years old in 1980. We are at Exhibition Stadium. This is a pitcher's park. -1 to strikeouts, not many home run chances, and there is no chance to rob a home run there. So, the Royals and the Blue Jays in a big matchup here at Exhibition Stadium. As everyone gets set and ready to go, let's play some baseball, and let's go to the top of the first. Leading off for the Royals, left fielder Willie Wilson had a great year in 80. 326 average, 3 homers, 49 RBIs that year. We're going to use powder blue, white, and blue dice. Blue Jays are the home team. Excellent matchup tonight. The Royals and the Jays. Royals trying to lengthen their lead in the AL West. Blue Jays trying to get back into third. Only a game back of the Tigers here in early August. Let's see what happens tonight. Stieb, 1-1, walk, 5, and that is just going to miss. Wilson, 7-5, and he grounds one to short. That'll be handled by Alfredo Griffin. And Griffin will toss it over for out number 1. Next up is the shortstop, UL Washington, 273 average, 6 homers, 53 RBIs that year. Stieb, 2-8, strikeout, 18 will miss. Washington, 8-1, that's powered into left field. That's a 16 against the righty. It'll stay up there, and Al Woods is going to get to it, and he's going to make the catch for out number 2. And that will bring up the third baseman. Doesn't need much of an introduction. Mr. George Brett, one of the greatest of all time. 390 average, 24 homers, 118 RBIs. I still take Mike Schmidt as the greatest third baseman in baseball history, but you can still make an argument for Brett. Stieb, 8-8, range play 13, 17 says no. Brett, 8-2, and there are no runners in scoring position, so that's just going to be a grounder to second base handled by Damaso Garcia, and he's going to throw it over to first and retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Royals, and we'll go to the bottom of the first. Doug Hunt joins us here at Exhibition Stadium. Starting pitcher for the Kansas City Royals tonight is Stieb Busby. Didn't get many starts. 1 win, 3 losses, a 6.17 ERA. With an ERA that high, I will be watching his pull rating. We go to the bottom of the first. Leading off for the Blue Jays, the shortstop, Alfredo Griffin. 254 average, 2 homers, 41 RBIs. I have no problem saying Griffin was solid. The lovely Barbara joins us here at Exhibition Stadium, and she is lovely. Busby, 3-7, strikeout 12 will miss. Griffin, 3-6, and that's a base hit. He'll hit that one past third, and the Blue Jays open up the hitting. That'll bring up the second baseman, Damaso Garcia. 278 average, 4 homers, 46 RBIs. Another steady player. Infield a double play. Griffin at 18 steals, and that's a 19. Garcia gets the hit and run. This early, not really much home run power. Hit and run this early, doesn't strike out much either. Blue Jays need this game really more than the Royals do. Why not? Hit and run is on. Busby, 2-8, strikeout 3, and a hit and run. Let's see here. And a hit and run. The strikeout rating is halved. And that against the righties a 9. -1 makes him an 8. That becomes a 4. That's a 3. He struck him out, and Griffin's got to try to steal second base. And his base running rating is a 9. -2 is a 7. And Kansas City Porter -1 is a 6. And it's a hit and run, so you take another 2 off, so -2 is a 4. But he got in there! Holy cow, Griffin still stole the base. He still steals second base. I don't believe it, but he does. Griffin steals the base. Stolen base for Griffin, but Garcia is out. First strikeout for Busby. Only had 12 in 80. But Griffin just gets in there. How does he get the steal? Well, the stolen base rating is a 9. Busby -2 makes him a 7. Okay. Porter, his arm rating -1 is a 6. When you steal a strikeout, you're still stealing second base. It's -2 is a 4, and that's a 3, and he got it. Holy cow. He still steals the base. Left fielder Al Woods is next up for the Blue Jays. 1 out, though. Runner on second. Strategy roll, and nothing happening there. Yeah, he was out by a mile on that play. Busby, 8-3. That's a blank. Woods, 1-6, and that's pumped up to second base. That'll be a nice play there for Frank White. And he'll make the catch for out number 2. Here's the designated hitter, Otto Velez. 269 average, 20 homers, 62 RBIs in 80. Strategy roll, and Griffin will stay put. Busby, 5-5, walk, 20. That just missed. Velez, 7-8, and he powers one into left field. That's a 20, and against the righty, it's going to stay up. And left fielder left fielder Willie Wilson will get to it. He will make the catch and retire the side. No runs, a hit, and a stolen base. Weird inning, but no score after 1. Otto Velez recently passed away. I did not know that. May he rest in peace. We go to the top of the second. Leading off for the Royals is the catcher, Darryl Porter. 249 average, 7 homers, 51 RBIs that year. Stieb will deal. Stieb, 2-2. It's a blank. Porter, 6-3. Fly to left, and that'll be handled by Woods. And he'll make the catch for the out. Here's the designated hitter, Willie Aikens, a 278 average, 20 homers, 98 RBIs, and 80. Stieb, 2-3 walk, 15 will be too high. Aikens, 2-6, and against the righty, it's a base hit. He'll hit that one past second base, and Aikens will get a hit for the Royals. Here's the center fielder, Amos Otis, one of the more underrated players in baseball history. 251 average, 10 homers, 53 RBIs. Infield is a double play. Aikens had only one steal, and he's not getting it. Stieb, 5'7", that's a blank. Otis, 6'3", and against the righty, Otis smacks one into left, and that's going to be a double. Will it score Aikens? 3-2, and 3-2, and no, he will hold. He would advance if there were 2 outs, but Aikens will hold at second base, and Aikens will hold at third. But a double by Otis, and now the Royals got something going on. And here's the first baseman, John Wathan, 305 average, 6 homers, 58 RBIs that year. Infield's going to play in. Runners at second and third. Strategy roll coming up, and nothing on the floor. Stieb, 5'1", it's a blank. Wathan, 7'4", and it's a fly ball to right field. And that's going to be Lloyd Mosby making the catch for out number 2. Wathan, a sacrifice fly of 3. That's a 5. It's too high. Will Aikens come in on his own? 6'5", and he holds 6-7. That's at the right field. Mosby has an arm rating of 4. It's not going to do it. Aikens will come in to score, and the Royals have a 1-0 lead. So John Wathan will get the sacrifice fly, bringing in Aikens. That'll be an RBI for him. And now the right fielder, Jamie Quirk, 276 average, 5 homers, 21 RBIs. Now 2 outs, but the Royals have a 1-0 lead. Otis, he will stay put. Stieb, 6'6", error on a booted ball. Quirk, 2'7", that's a fly out the left. Easy play there for Woods, and he'll get to it, retire the side. 1 run, 2 hits, and a sacrifice fly. Royals grab the quick early lead, and we'll go to the bottom of the second. Leading off for the Blue Jays is the third baseman, Roy Howell. 269 average, 10 homers, 57 RBIs, and 80. 1-0 Royals. Busby, 5'3". That's a pitcher result. And a 9 against the lefty is going to be a blank. Howell, 3'5", and he flies one to left. An easy play there for Wilson. Easy play there for Wilson, and he'll make the catch for the out. Here's the first baseman, John Mayberry, 248 average, 30 homers, 82 RBIs. Mayberry was pretty much a slugger. Busby, 8'1", range play 14. That's a 12. Yes. Mayberry, a 4'1". That's a ground ball to short. That ball is hit to UL Washington. His range is a 5. Nope, it'll get past him. It'll be a base hit. Mayberry hits one past Washington. Almost a seeing eye single, and Mayberry will get to first. Here's the center fielder, Barry Bonnell, 268 average, 13 homers, 56 RBIs. Infield a double play. Mayberry is not a threat to steal, and he's not going anywhere. Busby, 5'7", wild pitch, 15. It's a possible pass ball. Porter's pass ball rating is a 0, which means it's an automatic pass ball, and Mayberry will get the second. Now, a lot of people think, well, if a pass ball rating is a 0, there's no chance of a pass ball. No, I did check with Chris on that. If it's a 0, it's an automatic. He has no chance to make a roll. If it's an 8, all right, he'll never allow a pass ball. So Mayberry will advance to second. That takes away the double play, and we'll re-roll the strat, and Mayberry will stay at second base. Re-rolling the at-bat, Busby, 7'1", pickoff, 16. No. Funnel, a 7-7, and there is a runner in scoring position. So that's just going to be a simple out, and that's going to be a ground ball to third. That'll be handled by Brett. The throw will go to first for the out, and Mayberry, he'll stay at second base. So we'll ground out to third base, handled by Brett. 2 outs now. And here's the right fielder, Lloyd Mosby. I'm pretty sure Cutter Historical will say Lloyd Mosby was a solid player. 229 average, 9 homers, 46 RBIs. He had a decent career. Strategy roll for Mayberry. He'll stay put. Busby, 6'6". Against the lefty, it's blank. Mosby, 3-5. And that's a comebacker right back to Busby. And Busby will get that and throw it over to first and retire the side. No runs and a hit for the Blue Jays. 1-0 Crown Royals after 2. On to the third. Leading off for the Royals will be the second baseman, Frank White, another solid player. 264 average, 7 homers, 60 RBIs, and 80. Stieb, 6'5", pickoff. Nobody on base, so we go to the park. Exhibition Stadium, 2-1. It's a foul pop-up behind the plate to the catcher, and Ernie Witt's going to call for it. He'll get it, and that will be out number 1. 1 out. Here is Wilson. Wilson is 0 for 1. Stieb will pitch. Stieb, 8-5, and against a switch left. 8-5 is a pitcher result. That's a 3, and against the lefty, that's going to be a base hit. That's going to be a single past second base. So Wilson will get a hit off of Stieb, and he'll head to first. 79 steals. He's a thief. And here is Washington. Washington is 0 for 1. Infield set for double play. Strategy roll. And that is a 14, and he is not going. He stays put. Stieb, 1-7, strikeout, got him. He gets Washington. That is the first strikeout for Stieb. He had 108 of them that year, and that's out number 2. 2 away, here's Mr. Brett. Brett is 0 for 1. Wilson on it at first base. He does get the jump, and he's going. 18 plus 1 is 19. Ernie with a 0 arm, a 1 to 19. He is safe. And he is. Wilson will go ahead and steal second base as he should. With 79 steals, I pretty much, anytime he gets the jump, I got to send him, depending on the game situation. Re-roll the strategy. And this time he gets the steal to go to third, but he'll let Brett swing with 2 outs. Stieb will pitch. 8-4. And against the lefty, it's a blank. Brett, 7-3. Base hit right field. That should score Wilson. Single to right, 4-5. And single to right, 4-5. Yeah, he'll advance. Wilson will come around. He will score. It's 2-0 Royals. Stadium groans. RBI single by Brett. And the batter now is Porter. Porter is 0 for 1. 2 men out, but now 2-0 Royals. Brett had 15 stolen bases, and he's not going here. Stieb, 8-6. That's at the park. Exhibition, 4-7. And let's see. Porter is a left-handed batter, and that's going to be a ground ball to short. That'll be handled there by Alfredo Griffin. He's going to throw to first to get Porter, and that will retire the side. 1 run on 2 singles and a stolen base. We go to the bottom of the third. I got to remind myself, every time I got to check the handedness of the batter. That's what we do here on the ballpark card. Not like the way it used to be. Leading off for the Blue Jays will be the catcher, Ernie Witt. 237 average, 6 homers, 34 RBIs. Always felt Witt was serviceable. Busby, 8-3. That's a blank. Witt, 5-2. And against the righty, it's a ground out to second base. That'll be handled by White. And White throws it over for the out. Next back is Griffin. Griffin got a single his first time up and stole a base. Busby with the deal. Busby, 7-1, pickoff. No, so we go to the park. Exhibition, 1-1, and that's a double into right field. Griffin smacks one into the right field caverns, and Griffin will wind up at second base. Second hit of the game for Griffin. And here's Garcia. Garcia, 0 for 1. Griffin, I don't think he's going to go anywhere. That is a 2. He stays put. Busby will pitch. Busby, 4-2. Walk, 15 is too high. Garcia, 8-6. And it's a ground ball to first, handled there by Wathen. Wathen will take it to the bag himself for the out. Griffin goes to third. 2 outs. And now Woods. Woods is 0 for 1. See if anything happening with Griffin. Strategy roll. Nothing on the 2. He'll stay where he is. Busby. 5-1. Strikeout. 5. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. And that will retire the side. Second strikeout for Busby. No runs and a hit for the Blue Jays. Busby with a 6.17 ERA, and for the first 3 innings, he's pitching like David Cone. Or actually, I should say, he's pitching like Roger Nelson, who won the MVP in my 1972, who won the postseason MVP in my 1972 World Series replay. Or I should say 1972 season back in Inside Pitch. Boy, that seemed like a long time ago. We go to the top of the 4th. Willie Aikens leads off for the Royals. He's 1 for 1. It's this, I'll tell you, I've been doing this now for almost 6 years. I'll tell you, all those seasons I did all those years ago, 1985, 79, 2016, 69, 61. Boy, did that seem like a long time ago. Stieb, 2-5, strikeout, 11. And no, that just missed. Aikens, 2-8, ground out to short. That'll be taken care of by Griffin. And Griffin throws it to first for the out. That just shows you how long I've been doing this now. And we're not stopping anytime soon. Here's Wathen. Wathen is, not Wathen, that's Otis. Otis is the next batter, not Wathen. Otis got a double his first time up. Stieb will pitch. Stieb, 2-4, walk, 13, ball 4. Can't believe it. And Stieb wants to use the automatic balls and strikes, the ABS system. That's right. They don't have that in 80. And Otis is going to first. And that's going to be a walk. First walk given up by Stieb. He had 77 of them that year. And now the batter is Wathen. Wathen had sacrificed fly his first time up. Otis had 16 stolen bases. That's a 3. And he gets the jump. I'm going to send him. 19 plus 1 is 20. And with a 0, a 1 to 19, Otis is safe. He is. Otis will steal second base. He gets the jump. And that is another stolen base for the Royals. Second stolen base in the game for them. That takes away the double play chance. Re-rolling a strat, and Otis will stay at second base. Stieb will pitch. Stieb, 8-2, walk, 14, that's too high. Wathen, 1-4. That's a ground ball to second. That'll be picked up by Garcia. He'll go to first. And that is out number 2. Otis does go to third. Rounded to second. And now that will bring up Quirk. Quirk is 0 for 1. Will you do them again in IPA again? No, I am not redoing any seasons. Every season we do will always be new. I will not replay seasons. There's only one season I will do, and that is 1994, because the 1994 season I did was not really a full season. It was a restart from when 1994 ended, and that was in payoff pitch. If 1994 ever comes up, which there's no way it's coming up in the next selection show anyway, okay, due to my 15 season buffer up and down, all right, but I would do 1994. That would be a replay. No, I am not doing any of the old seasons. We're not going to do that. We always move on. Otis on at third, and strategy roll, he'll stay put. Stieb, 5-4. Hit by pitch, 5. Yep, he hit him. Plunk, ouch. Quirk will go ahead and trot to first. That's going to be the first hit batter of the game. And now here's White. White is 0 for 1. Runners at first and second. Quirk, he's not going to do anything. Stieb, 4-2. That's an automatic out. It'll be a grounder to second base, handled by Garcia. And the throw goes over to retire the side. No runs, no hits, a walk, a hit batter, and a steal. But that is all the Royals will get. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth. But yes, no, I'm not going to redo seasons. They'll stay as inside pitch because, come on, people, there is quite a bit of seasons I can do in inside pitch advance. And, of course, if it's not available yet in inside pitch advance, Chris says he will create the season. So I have no idea what we'll be doing next. Of course, the selection show won't be until what? Late April? Leading off for the Blue Jays will be Otto Velez. He is 0 for 1. Busby will pitch. Busby, 3-5, walk, 14, ball 4, he walked him. Velez will trot to first. That is the first walk given up by Busby. He had 19 of them that year. Next batter is Howell. Howell is 0 for 1. Infield set for double play. Velez not a threat to do anything, and he won't. Busby will pitch. Busby, 6-3, against the lefty. Possible home run. 6-3 is a possible home run. Against the righty, Howell needs an 8. With runners on, +2 makes it a 10. That's a 5, and this game is tied. Kaboom! That ball is high. That ball is deep, and that ball is gone. Home run, Roy Howell. Stadium cheers. Yay! 2-run bomb by Roy Howell will tie this game up at 2. 6-3 against the lefties, a straight home run. Howell is an 8. With runners on, you add 2, which makes it a 10. And that was a 5. And that ball is out of here. Howell had 10 home runs that year, very capable of hitting one out. And we're tied at 2. Next batter is Mayberry. Mayberry got a single his first time up. Have you heard of Chris said what the next season will be coming out for IPA? Right now, the 1970s got picked for the decade. So I think we'll be seeing a season from the 70s yet. We don't know because people are still voting. Yes, there's going to be printed cards. He's not going to bring back print. He is going to continue to print. Don't worry about it. He is going to continue to print. He's on vacation right now. Believe it or not, he is on vacation in Orlando, 3 hours away from me. I asked him if I could come see him, but he said he is with the family. He would rather wait another time. I said, I had no problem driving up there and seeing you, but it was not to be this time, but we will meet sooner or later. Remember, you're all going to see him, okay, on the Zoom call in April. So here's Mayberry. Busby will pitch. Busby, 7-3, walk, 18. That just missed. Mayberry, 3-6. It's a fly to center. That'll be handled by Amos Otis. And that will be the first out of the inning. Next up is Bonnell. And Bonnell is 0 for 1. Don't worry, you'll have printed cards back probably starting in March. Busby, 5-7. And wild pitch. It's a blank. Bonnell, 3-8, and that's a line drive right to second. That'll be handled by White for the second out. 2 outs, and now the batter is Mosby. Mosby is 0 for 1. Busby, he will pitch. Busby, 1-4, pickoff. Nope, so we go to the park. Exhibition, 8-2, and that will be a fly to left. And that'll be handled there by Willie Wilson. Wilson will get it, retire the side. 2 runs on 1 hit and a walk. A 2-run bomb by Roy Howell, tied at 2 after 4. I would like to mention that the 2025 season of regular inside pitch, he is about to release. So I can get relief for that. For those of you who do not want to deal with who don't feel like going to inside pitch advanced, but still want to play regular inside pitch, 2025 he will be releasing very soon. Very soon. Could be when he gets back. So the 2025 season on regular inside pitch will be out very shortly. We go to the top of the fifth, tied at 2 here. And top of the order for the Royals, here's Willie Wilson. Wilson is 1 for 2. Tied at 2, Royals and Blue Jays. Important game here in the American League. Stieb, 2-3, walk 11. That's too high. Wilson, 2-2, and that's a double. Wilson smacks one into center field. That'll roll all the way to the wall. And Wilson gets his second of the ball game, and that's a double. Here's Underwriters Laboratories. He's 0 for 2. Wilson on at second, and he'll stay at second. Almost got to jump to go to third, but he'll stay put. Stieb, 4-2. That's an automatic out, and it will be a grounder to second, handled there by Garcia. Garcia tosses it to first, and Wilson goes to third, and that is the first out. Here's Mr. Brett. Brett is 1 for 2, infield playing in. Wilson, however, very fast. Stieb will pitch to Brett. Strategy roll, nothing on the 14. Stieb will deal. Stieb, 2-3, walk 9, and he will walk Brett. So that's a base on balls to Brett. That is the second walk given up by Stieb. And Porter's the batter. And they're going to keep the infield in. I wouldn't go corners in because you don't want the go-ahead run to get in there. So they'll keep the infield in at all positions. Stieb will pitch to Porter. Strategy, nothing on. And that is a 1. Brett gets the jump. He gets the jump. And Wilson, to try to steal home, I don't think, divided by 10. No, Wilson is not. Brett gets the jump to go to second. Porter at bat. Might not be a bad idea. He had 15 steals. Why not? Let's try it. Brett's going to try to steal second base. Wilson will stay at third. He has a 14. Plus 1 is a 15. With a 0 arm. A 1 to 15. Brett is safe. And he is. That's the third stolen base for the Royals. They got speed. Another stolen base for the Royals. Now runners at second and third. And now a base hit could probably bring in 2 runs. Re-rolling the strat. And Wilson stays where he is. Stieb will pitch. Stieb, 2-6. Strikeout. 18 is too high. Porter, 1-3. And there are runners in scoring position. That's a base hit to left field. A 1 to 9 will change that into an out. That's a 3, and it's going to be a fly ball to left field. Stieb will keep it. Will not be a hit. That's a fly to left, but now there are 2 outs. Porter has a sacrifice fly rating of 14, and he will bring in Wilson anyway. So it becomes an out due to Dave Stieb turning the single into an out. Brett stays at second, but the Royals take back the lead. It's 3-2. Stadium groans. So Darryl Porter will go ahead and get the sacrifice fly. And now 3-2 in favor of the Royals. Here is Akins. Akins is 1 for 2. But now 2 outs here in the top of the top of the fifth. Nothing on the strat. Bray stays put. Stieb, 6-5, pickoff, 4, and yes, he got him, picked him off. Stieb, a pickoff at second base is a 4. That is a 4. Brett is caught napping, and he's tagged out. And that will retire the side. Brett thought maybe Stieb had a balk, but it didn't, not to be there, as Stieb will pick him off at second base. And that's a big out. 1 run on 1 hit, a walk, a stolen base, and a sacrifice fly. Akins will have to wait till the next inning. We'll go to the bottom of the fifth. Busby can pitch to 26, and Stieb can pitch to 32. Leading off for the Jays will be Ernie Witt. Witt is 0 for 1. Busby deals. Busby, 1-3, it's a blank. Witt, 5-7, it's a fly to right field. Handled easily there by Jamie Quirk. And he'll make the catch for the out. Next up is Griffin. Griffin is 2 for 2, a single and a double. Busby with the pitch. Busby, 4-4. Against the switch left, it's a blank. Griffin, 5-7. And there are no runners in scoring position. It's a base hit to center field. Busby has a 0. So it's gonna stay a single. He has a 0 with bases empty. He has a 20 though. So Busby pretty much a 0-20. That is extreme. That means anytime there's runners on base, Busby's going to turn a hit into an out. That's huge. That'll be a single for Griffin. Griffin has his 3rd hit of the game. Here's Garcia. Garcia's 0 for 2. Busby must have been very good with runners in scoring position. Infield a double play. Griffin had 18 steals, and he's not going here. Busby, 6-3 against the righty. Strikeout, no. Garcia, 4-8. It's a grounder right back to Busby. That's a 15. Hit to the pitcher, -2 will make it a 13. No chance for Busby. Garcia is an 11, and that's going to be a 1-4-3. Actually, a 1-6-3, really. A 1-6-3 double play, and the inning is over. No runs and a hit as Garcia hits that right back to Busby. And that will end the inning. 3-2 Royals after 5. Busby pitching like David Cone. Not bad. We go to the top of the 6th. And Willie Aikens will come back onto the plate. He was at the plate when Brett got picked off. Aikens is 1 for 2 with a single. Stieb, 1-8 error on a booted ball. And Aikens, a 1-1. Nope, it's going to be a fly to left. Easily played there by Al Woods. He'll make the catch for the out. Here's Otis. Otis is 1 for 1, doubled and walked. Stieb with the pitch. Stieb, 4-3. It's a wild pitch. No, it's a blank. Otis, 4-4. Fly to right. Handled there by Mosby. Mosby drifts toward the line, but he makes the play easily. 2 down. And now Watson. Watson is 0 for 2, but he has a sacrifice fly. Stieb with the deal. 4-8 error on a throw. Watson, 1-8. That's a base hit to center field. There won't be a throwing error. He'll clean it cleanly, and Watson will get to first. So a single for Watson. That's his first hit of the game. It'll bring up Quirk. Quirk is 0 for 1, got hit by a pitch. Watson had 17 steals. That's not bad for someone like him. And he gets the jump. I'm going to send him. 17 plus 1 is 18. With a 0. A 1-18. Watson steals second base. And he just got under the tag. But hey, he is safe. Watson steals a base. And that is the 4th stolen base by the Royals. They are running. Watson on that second. Re-rolling the strat. He'll stay put. Stieb will pitch. Stieb, 5-3. Walk, 15. That is too high. Quirk, 8-1. And it's flied to left. Woods will come under it, get it, and retire the side. No runs and a hit for the Royals. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Busby back on the mound. And Al Woods leads off for the Bluebirds. He's 0 for 2. 3-2 Royals. Royals running away with the American League West. Blue Jays trying to get back into. They're 1 game back of the Tigers for 3rd in the American League East. Remember, top 3 get in. Busby, 3-8. It's a blank. Woods, 2-3. And Woods smacks one into right. That's a leadoff double. Woods will grab himself a double. He'll hold at second. And here's Velez. Velez is 0 for 1 with a walk. Woods, he has, I don't think anything happening on Strat. That's an 8. The answer is no. Busby will go ahead and pitch. Busby, 1-7. Wild pitch, 19. It's another pass ball. And remember, Porter has a pass ball rating of 0. That's going to bounce off of him, and he's going to go back to the wall, and Woods will go to third. Second pass ball on Porter. So Woods will go to third base. Busby, looking at Porter, said, hey, can you maybe stop a ball behind the plate? So they'll re-roll the strat. The infield now coming in. Strategy roll, nothing on the 4. Woods will stay there. Busby deals. Busby, 3-5. Walk. That's ball 4. So now runners at first and third. Now Busby in some trouble. That's the second walk given up by Busby. And now here's Howell. Howell 1 for 2 with a bomb. Infield's going to stay in. They don't want the tying run to score. Strategy roll. Nothing on the 8. Busby and Woods and Velez stay put. Busby will deal. Busby, 2-6 against the lefty. It's a blank. Howell, 7-8. It's a ground ball to third. That's a 15. The infield is in. That is a 15. Woods is a 3. So -1 will make it a 14. It's hit the third base, and the runner on third is out, and the batter is safe. So Woods is thrown out at the plate, and the runners will move up, and there's one down. So that is how the infield in chart reads. A 15 as all batter on third is out, and the batter is safe. So that will be a fielder's choice. So the tying run is gunned down at the plate. Now the infield will move back to double play. The batter is Mayberry. Mayberry is 1 for 2 with a single. Big play there by the third baseman, George Brett, to throw it home and get the out. Strategy roll, and nothing on the 3. Busby deals. Busby, 4-7, walk, 16. Ball 4, just barely, but yeah, it's a walk. Busby wants to use the automatic balls and strike system. And the computer, well, they didn't have the automatic balls and strike system back then, so it's going to be bases loaded. The third walk by Busby, and the batter is Bonnell. Bonnell is 0 for 2. Infield's going to play at... They're going to play corners. They're going to stick with, I think they go infield. 1 out. Bonnell does hit into double plays. I'm going to play corners in. Runners at first and third. Hit the first or third, play at the plate. Second or short, it's a double play chance. Strategy roll. Nothing on the 6. Busby deals. Busby, 8-1. Range play, 14. That's a 19. No. Bonnell, 7-8, and that is going to be a fly to center field. It won't be a range play. Center fielder is Otis, and he will make the catch for out number 2. Bonnell sacrifice fly of 10, and I think that is a 10, and that's going to score Velez. The game is tied. Stadium cheers. Yay! So that'll be a sacrifice fly by Bonnell. And that is the third run. That is the third run in this game scored by a sacrifice fly by either team. So now tied at 3. And the batter is Mosby. Didn't even have the box on the TV screen or the score bug in the corner back then. I know, they never had that. They only flashed the score they flashed the score like once every 5 to 10 minutes. You never knew what the score was. You had to wait to find out. 2 outs. Howell on at second. Mayberry on at first. Mosby, the batter. He's 0 for 2. Busby will be tired after Mosby. He did a good job. Tied at 3 now, though. Bottom of the 6th. Strategy. Nothing on the 20. Busby will pitch. Busby, 2-1. Error on a grounder. Mosby, 4-7. Nope, it's a fly ball to left. Willie Wilson will get to it. He'll make the catch and retire the side. 1 run on 1 hit and a couple of walks. We got a tie game here at the 6th. Tied at 3. On to the 7th. Stieb will pitch. This is 1980, not 2026. Frank White leads off for the Royals. He's 0 for 2. Fans here at Exhibition Stadium know this game is important. Stieb, 4-7. Error on a grounder. White, 8-6. And that's a double. That's a double into left field, and there will not be an error out there, as White will go ahead and get there and get to second base. So Frank White leads off with a 2-bagger to start the 7th. So White on at second. Now here's Wilson. Wilson is 2 for 3, a single and a double. White had 19 steals. That's a 2. He does not get the jump. He needed to be a 4. So White will go. So White will stay at second base. Stieb will pitch. Stieb, 3-4, strikeout 8, swing and a miss, struck him out. And that is a big K by Stieb. That is his second strikeout for Stieb. And here's Washington. Washington is 0 for 3. Kind of think he's due for a hit. White on at second, and he will stay at second. Stieb, 2-6, strikeout 12. That's going to miss. Washington, 1-1, base hit, center field. Will that score White? Single to center, 6-6, and the arm holds of arm is 6-7. Center fielder for the Blue Jays is Barnum. His arm rating is a 4. White will come in. He will score. It's 4-3 Royals. Stadium groans. RBI single by Washington. He will bring in the run. And now the batter is Brett. Mr. GG 1959 joins us here at Exhibition Stadium. So now 4-3 in favor of the Royals. 4-3 was the actual historical score of this game. But the winning team was the Blue Jays. So now with the Royals having that, we have a new game. So Washington on at first, infield set for double play. Brett is the next batter. 1 for 2, a single and a walk. Stieb will stay out there. And I need to roll a strat first. Strategy. Nothing on the 17. Although Brett gets the hit and run, but he'll swing away because Brett has major home run power. Stieb, 1-7. Strikeout 9. That's too high. Brett, 3-6. It's a fly to right. That'll be handled there by Mosby. And that is out number 2. 2 outs. Here's Porter. Porter is 0 for 3. Washington at first. He will stay there. Stieb will go ahead and pitch. Stieb, 4-6. Walk 13. Ball 4. He will walk Porter. Runners at first and second. And that is the 3rd walk by Stieb. It will now bring up Akins. Akins is 1 for 3. I was thinking about something about hit and runs. If a hit and run comes up and a batter, with a batter with exclamation marks in the home run, because remember when you try for a hit and run, your home run rating is halved. Is that adjusted by the pitcher's EO? I have to ask him that question. I don't remember saying anything in there. I know the question mark says non-adjustable, but what if it's a hit and run? I'll have to ask him. Washington on at second, Porter on at first. I haven't had that situation yet, but you never know. Strategy roll, nothing on the 12. Stieb will pitch. Stieb, 7-1, strikeout 13. That will miss. Akins, 4-7, and Stieb will get out of it. That'll be a grounder to short, picked up there by Griffin. The throw's going to go to first to get Akins, and that'll retire the side. 1 run on 2 hits and a walk, and the Royals have a 4-3 lead here in this game. We are at the 7th inning stretch. Sing, take me out to the ball game. I'll be right back. Don't forget, we got 10-minute ticker coming up after tonight's game. Our next matchup will be tomorrow night. It will be on August 12th. And we got one team left to see in this third schedule block, and we're going to see them tomorrow night. The Texas Rangers will take on the Cleveland Indians at the Mistake by the Lake. The Indians are not in it, but the Rangers are. Fergie Jenkins will be pitching for the Rangers, and Rick Waits will be playing for the Indians. So for you Indians fans, you'll get to see the tribe on the board one last time, at least for now. The Rangers and the Indians for tomorrow night's game for August 12th here on the network at the Mistake by the Lake, Cleveland Municipal Stadium. Bottom of the 7th, Royals lead 4-3. Ernie Witt is the batter. Busby is tired. That is it for him. And Busby will leave with a W. We'll see a new pitcher for the Royals. And they got left switch and a right. And I think they're going to bring on, let's see. I think they will bring on a left switch right. And I think a right, even though Ernie Witt, I think they're going to bring on a right. I think they'll bring on, I think they will left switch right. I'm going to bring on a righty. They're going to bring on a righty with the most middle innings. That's not the closer, and that is going to be Marty Patton. 4 wins, no losses, 4 saves, a 3.64 ERA. So Marty Patton will come on to pitch, and he can pitch to 11. So Marty Patton will now come in to pitch for the Royals. Ernie Witt will lead off. Patton deals. Patton, 6-2. Error, foul, grounder at the park. Exhibition, 4-4. That's a fly out to center. There won't be an error. That'll be handled by Amos Otis. And that will be the first out. Here's Griffin. Griffin is 3 for 3 tonight. 2 singles and a double. Is that a good game? You spent many a cold day for both the Blue Jays and the Argonauts, didn't you? Exhibition Stadium, one of the weirder baseball stadiums ever. Patton, 4-6, walk, 12, no. Griffin, a 5-3, and that's going to be an infield single to second base. Charging it is Frank White. He won't have a play, and Griffin is safe at first. Griffin is 4 for 4 tonight. 254 batting average. The Blue Jays aren't losing because of him. Here's Garcia. Garcia is 0 for 3. Infield set for double play. Griffin had 18 steals, and he does not get the jump. Garcia does get the hit and run, and doesn't have much home run power. Hit and run. Again, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea, but Griffin got thrown out at second the last time we did it. Garcia was the guy at the hit and run. Strikeout came up. Nah, we're not going to try it again. He'll swing away. Patton, 6-6, blank. Garcia, 2-4, and that's going to be a ground out to second base. That's a 17. I really don't have to go any further than that. That's going to be a 4-6-3 double play, and the inning is over. Hit the second, 17 plus. Hit the second plus 1 is 18. Patton -2 is 16, and Garcia was an 11, and that will retire. That will retire the side. No runs and a hit for the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays have gotten a hit in every single inning so far, but just one hit. The Royals lead 4-3 after 7. On to the 8th. Stieb is tired as well. And Amos Otis is the batter. That's going to be it for Stieb. He will come out. And the Blue Jays will bring on a righty with the most middle innings. With the most innings here. Let's see what they got. And let's see here. And it will be... Coming on to pitch for the Blue Jays will be Joey McLaughlin. 6 wins, 9 losses, 4 saves. A 4.51 ERA. Stieb leaves the L. So Joey McLaughlin will come on to pitch now, and he can pitch to 9. So Amos Otis leads off for the Royals. 4-3 here, top of the 8th. Good game. McLaughlin, 7-8. Range play 13. That's a 1, yes. Otis, 1-8. It's a single to left field, but Al Woods gets a chance. His range is a 5. That's a 2. He'll make the catch. Out number 1. Nice play by Woods. You fly out to left. Woods makes a nice running catch. And now Wathan. Wathan is 1 for 3, a single and stole a base. McLaughlin will deal. McLaughlin, 8-3. That's a blank. Wathan, 4-4. Ground out to second. Garcia will get that. Take his time, make a routine throw to first for the second out. And here's Quirk. Quirk is 1 for 3 with a double. McLaughlin, a 7-7. That's a blank. Quirk, 2-5. And that's a comebacker right back to McLaughlin. A nice job by him. And he'll take his time and throw it over and end the inning. 1, 2, 3, go the Royals. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Had Stieb got some run support in his career, may have been a Hall of Famer. He's the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame. I have no problem. Some people, I agree with you on that. I have no problem saying Dave Stieb is definitely Hall of the Very Good. No problem with him. He is definitely Hall of the Very Good. Dave Stieb was a hell of a pitcher. I can't knock him. He was a damn good pitcher. Bottom of the 8th, Al Woods leads off for the Blue Jays. He is 1 for 3. Marty Patton got 2 lefties and a righty coming up. I don't know if I'd want to take Patton out for the Royals. Quisenberry is the closer. He's warming up for the 9th. I don't know. Would I bring in? I mean, I could. I don't know. Patton's better than who they got in the line in the bullpen right now for lefties. I'm going to let Patton pitch. This is 1980, not 2026. Patton will continue to stay on the mound. Woods is the batter. Patton, 8-3, walk, 5, ball 4. So Patton will give up a walk, and now the tying run is on base. Patton had 16 walks and 80, not many of them. The next batter is Velez. Now, Velez is the DH. Do I have a better DH that can take over here? And I don't think so. Believe it or not, the bench that the Blue Jays have is horrible. Their bench is not good. Velez is gonna bat. They're gonna bat. Woods on at first, infield a double play. Marty Patton will pitch to Velez. Velez has walked twice though. Strategy roll still on. That's an 11. Nothing happening. Patton, 7-4. That's a blank. Velez, 2-5. And that's an infield single to short. That's going to be grabbed by Washington, and everybody's going to be safe. Infield single. And now the Blue Jays got something going on with nobody out. And now the batter is Howell. Howell is 1 for 3 with a bomb. Still no one out here. Blue Jays got a chance to get some runs. Now the question is, do I let Patton pitch here? I got 2 lefties coming up for the Blue Jays. I don't think it really matters. Interesting. Do I let? You know what? Patton, it's your ball. I'm going to let Patton stay out there. Runners at first and second. No one out. Bottom of the 8th. Royals lead 4-3. Strategy roll. Nothing on the 12th. Patton will pitch. Patton, 3-1. It's a blank. Howell, 8-8. And there are runners in scoring position. That's a base hit past short. Patton, a 1-5. He'll turn that into an out. That's a 12. It's a single. That's going to be a base hit past short. Will it score Woods? And yes, it will. Woods will come around. He will score. We're tied at 4. Stadium cheers. Yay! Howell gets a single. Patton couldn't turn that into an out. And we got a tie game. RBI single by Howell. And now the batter is Mayberry, and that will be it for Patton. So Patton will come out of the game. The Royals, still no one out. So they got a left, right, and a left coming up. The Royals are actually going to go ahead and bring out a lefty in this situation in the late innings. And they're going to go with Jeff Twitty. 2 wins, a loss, no saves, a 6.04 ERA. But Jeff Twitty is a lefty, and they got 2 lefties coming up here. And Twitty's going to come in. So that gets Stieb off the hook, and Busby's now going to get a no decision. And now with the game tied at 4 and no one out in the bottom of the 8th, Velez on at second, Howell on at first. Jeff Twitty, the pitcher for the Royals. He had 8 appearances. I was thinking of bringing in Quisenberry, but I'm going to go left. I'm going to do some sabermetrics here. Strategy roll. And nothing on the 17. Twitty will pitch. Twitty, 5-3. That's a pitcher result. Against the lefty, that's a 6. Against the lefty, that's a 16. And that just becomes a blank. Mayberry, 8-2. But it's a base hit to left field. Single to left. Will Velez score? 2-3. And yes, he will. He will score. The Blue Jays take the lead. Stadium cheers. Yay! Howell holds at second base. Mayberry gets a big-time hit. The Blue Jays have a 5-4 lead. Big-time RBI by Mayberry. Still no one out, and here's Bonnell. Bonnell is 0 for 3. Infield still a double play depth. The Blue Jays look like they may be taking this game away from the Royals. Strategy roll. Nothing on the 13. Twitty will pitch. Twitty, 4-7. It's a blank. Bonnell, 4-3. That's a fly to left. Willie Wilson will get to it. He'll make the catch for out number 1. Does Howell take third? 7-4, and no, he'll stay put. 1 out. Howell stays at second base. Here's Mosby. Mosby is 0 for 3. Twitty will pitch to Mosby. Bottom of the 8th, the Blue Jays now lead at 5-4. Strategy roll, nothing on the 19. Mosby's not bunting. Twitty, 3-6, strikeout, got him. He'll go ahead and get Mosby. That's a big K. And Mosby's going to have an 0 for 4 night. And now here's Witt. Witt will bat. Witt is 0 for 3. Witt will stay out there. Runners at first and second. Twitty trying to go ahead and just get this in to stay where it is. Twitty looking in. Strategy roll. And nothing on the 16. Twitty deals. Twitty, 8-2. It's a blank. Wit, 1-5. And that's going to be a fly to right. And Quirk is going to mosey over there to the foul line, but he will make the catch, retire the side. 2 runs on 3 hits and a walk. The Blue Jays have taken a 5-4 lead. But will we see some 9th inning magic? We go to the top of the 9th. Blue Jays are going to bring out the closer as McLaughlin coming out of the game. And let's see who the closer is going to be. And there's not that much in the bullpen. So in this case, the closer for this game is going to be Jerry Garvin. 4 wins, 7 losses, 8 saves, but a 2.29 ERA. Jerry Garvin coming in to try to go ahead and get the save. McLaughlin leaves with the W. Patton leaves with the L. So Jerry Garvin will come on to pitch, and Frank White leads off. White is 1 for 3 with a double. Top of the 9th, 5-4 Blue Jays. Good game here tonight at the X. Garvin, he can pitch to 6 batters. And that'll actually stay. Garvin will deal. Garvin, 2-4, walk, 14. Nope, that's too high. White, a 3-6. It's a base hit pass first, and the tying run is on. Frank White will get a single. And now the top of the order, here's Wilson. Wilson is 2 for 4, a single and a double. Infield set for double play. Frank White had 19 steals. 19 steals. Strategy roll. That's a 12. He does not get one here. Garvin will pitch. Garvin, 3-8. It's a blank. Wilson, 4-4. That's a grounder to second base. That's a 3. Hit to second, +1 is a 4. Garvin +1 is a 5. Wilson does not hit into many double plays. But that 5 is going to be good enough for White to get to second. The only play they have is to first. The tying run moves to second base. Very hard to double play Wilson. But that does move the runner over. So White got a good jump. He gets to second. The only play they had was the first. And that is the first out. Tying run at second. And now the batter is Washington. Washington 1 for 4 with a single. And no, you do not put the go-ahead run on base. Strategy roll. Nothing on the 10. White stays at second base. Garvin will deal. Garvin, 8-4. Strikeout. 15 is too high. Washington, 8-6. It's an infield single to second. That'll get picked up by Garcia, and everyone will be safe. It's an infield hit. So the tying run is at third. Infield hit by Washington, and the batter is George Brett. Brett is 1 for 3, singled and walked. The infield must come in. White on at third, Washington on at first, 1 out, top of the 9th. Fans here at Exhibition Stadium know this game is important. Trying to chase down the Tigers for third in the AL East. Garvin will pitch to Brett. Strategy roll. That's an 18. Brett gets the hit and run, but he's not doing that. He hits home runs. Garvin will go ahead and deal. Garvin, 7-3, strikeout 12, no. Brett, 7-6, and it's now it's 7-6 is a line out to second, but the infield is in. That's gonna be a base hit past second base. This game is tied. This little upside down triangle means if the infield is in, it's hit past him. And the infield is in. It's a base hit for Brett. We got a tie game. Stadium groans. White will score and a single past second. Washington has to hold at second base, and we're tied at 5. Brett hits it past the drawn-in infield, and now we're tied at 5. And the batter is Porter. Porter is 0 for 3 with a walk. Jerry Garvin is going to blow the save here. Gets Patton and McLaughlin off the hook. And now the go-ahead run at second base. Dan Quisenberry warming up for the Royals in case. Infield is back to double play depth. Washington is at second. Brett is at first. Fans here at Exhibition Stadium cannot believe this. Strategy roll. Nothing on the 14. Garvin deals. Garvin, 1-6. Error on a booted ball. Porter, 6-6. And that's going to be a ground ball to short. That ball is hit to Griffin. His error rating is an 11. That's a 17. He will not make an error. But will he turn the double play? Will he turn the double play? So let's see. So it's hit to short. 3 hit to short. +1 is 4. Garvin +1 is 5. Porter is a 10. That's going to be a fielder's choice. Actually, it won't be. The throw's going to go to first. Washington will get to third. Brett is faster than the 5, so Brett will get to second. The only play he had was the first 2 down. So the runners move up on a grounder to second base as Garcia does not go ahead and get the error. But now runners at second and third, and now here's Akins. Akins is 1 for 4 with a single. Tie game, top of the ninth. Ninth inning magic strikes again. Washington on at third, Brett on at second. Garvin trying to get this game at least tied in the bottom of the ninth. Strategy roll. Nothing on the 2. Washington stays put. Garvin looking in on Akins. Garvin will deal. Garvin, 8-2 walk. 18 is high. Akins, 1-4, and it's a fly ball to left field. And that's going to be Al Woods to get there. He'll make the catch and retire to side. 1 run on 3 hits. The Royals tie this up at 5. So now will we see some bottom of the ninth inning magic? Top of the order for the Blue Jays. Here's Alfredo Griffin. Griffin's had a great night. 4 for 4, 3 singles and a double. Royals are going to the bullpen. There's only one guy you can bring in this situation, and that's going to be Dan Quisenberry. 12 wins, 7 losses, 33 saves, a 3.16 ERA. The Quiz is on the mound. He can pitch to 9. So Quisenberry will come on to pitch in the bottom of the ninth inning. Tied at 5 here. Good back and forth game. Royals and the Blue Jays. Quisenberry deals. Quisenberry, 7-3. It's a blank. Griffin, 2-5. That's a grounder to short, handled by Washington. And for the first time in the ball game, Griffin is retired. Next up is Garcia. Garcia's 0 for 4. He's had a rough night. Quisenberry will deal. Quisenberry, 5-8 against the righty. Strikeout, swing and a miss. Struck him out. Quisenberry had 37 strikeouts in 80. And now here's Woods. Woods is 1 for 3, single, doubled, and a walk. Quisenberry will come on. Quisenberry will deal. Quisenberry, 8-7, error on a throw. Woods, 6-2. Nope, that's going to be a fly ball to right field. Jamie Quirk is going to get to that. He will make the catch. And we have free baseball. Free baseball here. Get your free baseball. Tied at 5 after 9. We go to the 10th inning. Ghost runners are not used in the 10th inning. They will be activated in the 11th. Garvin is tired. He's coming out of the game. He did not get the job done. Leading off for the Royals is Amos Otis. They got two righties and a lefty. So the Blue Jays will bring on a righty here. And we'll use the righty with the most late innings. And that is going to be Mike Barlow. 3 wins, 1 loss, 5 saves, a 4.09 ERA. And Barlow can pitch to 7. So Mike Barlow will come on to pitch for the Blue Jays here to start the top of the 10th. Bases start empty. Mike Willis? You want Willis up there? Let me see. You rather have Willis? Okay. Mr. GG has called me. I will bring Barlow back, and I will put out Mike Willis instead. He wants Willis. Very well. Remember, I use the 3-batter rule, GG, but okay. I will let, since GG is his team, I will let him make the call. So Mike Willis instead will come out to pitch. Better pitcher, though. 2 wins, 1 loss, 3 saves, a 1.71 ERA. So Mike Willis instead will come on to pitch, and he can pitch to 7 as well. So Amos Otis will lead off here for the Royals in the top of the 10th. No ghost runners in this inning. Willis. 4-3, error on a grounder. Otis, 2-4, and that is a ground ball. It's a ground ball to second. That ball is hit to Garcia. His error rating is a 7. That's a 10. He won't make an error. He'll throw to first to get the out. 1 down. And now the batter is Watson. Watson is 1 for 4 with a single. Willis will go ahead and pitch. I do sometimes let the chat make decisions. Willis will deal. Willis, 6-1, strikeout. That will be too high. Watson, 4-5. It's a ground ball to third, handled there by Howell. Howell will toss it over for out number 2. And here's Quirk. Quirk is 0 for 3 and got hit by a pitch. Willis deals. Willis, 6-3. Pitcher result. That's an 11 against the lefty. It'll be a blank. Quirk, 5-4. And there are no runners in scoring position. So that is a single pass second. Willis, a 1-7. He'll turn that into an out. That is a 3, and that's going to be a ground ball to second base. That'll get picked up by Garcia. He throws to first, and that will retire the side. Nice job by Willis. 1, 2, 3, go the Royals. We go to the bottom of the 10th. Quisenberry, he will stay on the mound now in the bottom of the 10th inning. Otto Velez will bat. And he is 1 for 2, singled and walked twice. The Blue Jay bench is horrible. I really don't see me bringing anybody off. I really don't. Quisenberry will pitch. 1-1. It's blank. Velez, 4-2. And against the righty, Velez comes through hard and high, and that's going to be a triple into right field. Against the righty, Velez hits one all the way to right, and Velez winds up at third, and the winning run is 90 feet away. Otto Velez gets a big-time triple against the righty, and now the infield has to come in, and the batter is Howell. Howell is 2 for 3, a single and a bomb. Velez on at third. Quisenberry will pitch to Howell. Infield is in. I will use the chart. Quisenberry. Quisenberry will pitch. Strategy roll. Velez stays put. Quisenberry deals. Quisenberry, 8-1 against the lefty. It's a blank. Howell, 8-5, and it's a ground ball to short. That's a 14. The infield is in, And there is that marker there, but it only works on hit and runs, not infield in. So that's a ground ball to short. That's a 14. Velez is a base running rating of 3 -1, which will make that a 13. It was hit to short, and the batter on third is out, and the runner is safe. Fielder's choice. The runner on third is out, but Howell will make it as the throw goes to the plate to go ahead and get Velez, and there is one, and that will be an out. So that'll go as a fielder's choice. Nice play there by Washington to make the play. So Howell on at first now, and here's Mayberry. Mayberry is 2 for 3, 2 singles and a walk. Howell on at third. Howell on at first, I should say. Strategy roll. That's a 10, nothing happening. Quisenberry deals. Quisenberry, 2-5. Error, foul, grounder at the park. Exhibition, 1-3. And that's a ground ball. That is a ground ball to short. That's a grounder to short. That's hit to Washington. His error rating is a 10. That's a 2, and he's going to make an error. He's going to boot the ball, and everyone will be safe. Washington makes an error at short, and now the winning run is at second base. That is an E6. First error on the Royals. They did have an error in the game historically. And now the winning run at second, and the batter is Bonnell. Bonnell is 0 for 4. You kind of think he's due. Runners at first and second. Infield is set for double play. Fans here at Exhibition Stadium really need the Blue Jays to get a win here. Howell, the winning run at second base. Quisenberry gets set to pitch. Strategy roll. Nothing happening. Quisenberry will deal. Quisenberry, 8-2. It's a blank. Bonnell, 5-4. It's a fly ball to left field. Willie Wilson will go ahead and make the catch. Does Howell take third? 4-4, and he'll hold. 2 outs. Howell stays at second base on a fly out to left. And now here's Mosby. Mosby is 0 for 4. The bottom of the lineup is 0 for... The bottom half of the lineup, positions 7, 8, and 9, they are 0 for 13. Quisenberry will pitch to Mosby. Strategy roll, nothing on the 10. Howell at second base. Quisenberry deals. Quisenberry, 3-3, it's a blank. Mosby, 7-3, powered into center field. That's a 20. Against the righty, it's going to hang. Center fielder Amos Otis will get to it. He will make the catch, and we got more free baseball. No runs, 1 hit, and an error. And we stay tied at 5. Good thing I don't work tomorrow. I don't work every Monday, and this is one of those Mondays I don't work. We go to the top of the 11th inning, tied at 5. Jamie Quirk will take over at second base. Ghost runners are now active. Quirk was the last out for the Royals. He will be at second base. And Frank White leads off for the Royals. And White is 2 for 4. Do you want Mike Willis? He can pitch to 4 more batters. I'll ask Mr. GG, do you want Willis to stay out there? Might as well. He can pitch to 4 more batters yet. I would keep him out there. He has the lowest ERA. So the free runners at second base to start the 11th inning. Willis will go ahead and pitch to White. Strategy roll for a bunt chance. That's a 13, and that is not happening. Willis will go ahead and pitch. Willis, 4-4, strikeout, no. White, 3-3, and that's going to be a fly ball to right field. It's going to be a fly to right. And that's going to be grabbed by Mosby for out number 1. Does Quirk take third? That's a 2-4. I don't think so. 2-4. Advances. If he's 4-7, no. Quirk is slow. He stays at second base. 1 out. Quirk will not move to third. Advances if he's 4-7, a 2-4, and Quirk is only a 2. He stays put. Next batter is Wilson. And Wilson is 2 for 5, a single and a double. 1 out now. Quirk still on at second. Strategy. That's a 5, and nothing happening there. Quirk will stay put. Willis will go ahead and pitch. Willis, 3-3, strikeout 10. That misses. Wilson is a 10, but -1 makes him a 9. Wilson, 5-3. It's a base hit past the pitcher. It's a single past the pitcher, and Quirk will come around. He will score. The Royals take the lead 6-5. Stadium groans. Single right up the middle, and that will allow the free runner to score. So that's a base hit for Wilson. So at least the free runner is in. So now 6-5 Royals. And here's Washington. Washington is 2 for 5. And now the infield's a double play depth. So the Royals now have a 6-5 lead here in the top of the 11th as they do get the free runner. Strategy roll for Wilson. He'll stay put. He does not get the jump. Willis will go ahead and he will pitch. Willis, 8-4, walk, 11, and ball 4. And now a big run is at second base. So now a walk by Willis to Washington. And now here's Brett. Willis is not tired yet. He will be after Brett. And I'm going to let him pitch to him lefty on lefty. Big run at second base. The Royals already got the free runner in. Runners at first and second here. Top of the 11th. 6-5 Royals in a heck of a game. Strategy roll. Nothing on the 10. Willis will pitch. Willis, 2-6. Range play 13. That's an 11. Yes, it is. Brett, 6-8. It's a single past second, but it's a range play for Garcia. His range is a 4. That's a 5. It'll be a base hit, and Wilson will score. Single past second. Wilson will score. Washington, he will hold at second base, and it's now 7-5. Stadium groans. RBI single by Brett. Runners at first and second, and that is it for Willis. So Willis is coming out of the game. We'll see a new pitcher here for the Blue Jays. Daryl Porter is the next batter. Still 2 lefties on the mound. Willis was tired anyway. So let's see who I'm going to bring in to pitch. And I don't think I have any more lefties on the bullpen for the Blue Jays. So we're just going to go with the pitcher with the most late inning appearances. And now we'll go ahead and bring in Mike Barlow. 3 wins, 1 loss, 5 saves, a 4.09 ERA. Mike Barlow will come in to pitch, as Willis is going to leave with the L. Quisenberry still has 1 more batter left in the tank. And he's still on there. So Washington at second, Brett on at first, Porter the batter, Mike Barlow the new pitcher, and he can pitch to 7. So here's Porter, 7-5 Royals in the top of the 11th inning. Strategy rolls are now off. Barlow, 5-5 against the lefty. That's an automatic out. It's a ground ball to third. And that's a 17. Hit to third a 0. Hit to third a 0. Barlow a 0. Porter is a 10. And that's going to be a 5-3 double play. Hit right to third. And that is picked up there by Howell. Tags the bag. Throws to first to get Porter. And that will retire the side. So Barlow does get a 5-3 double play because that's an odd number, and that is an odd number with that play there. So that will retire the side. 2 runs on 2 hits and a walk. 7-5 Royals. We go to the bottom of the 11th. Barlow gets the job done. Quisenberry to come on to pitch. He can pitch to one more batter before he tires. But he's going to stay out there. Lloyd Mosby is the free runner for the Blue Jays in the bottom of the 11th. And Ernie Witt will bat for the Jays. He is 0 for 4. So bottom of the 11th inning now. 7-5 favor of the Royals. Fans here at the X hoping for something. Quisenberry, strategy roll. And that is a 14. Nothing happening. Busby stays where he is. Quisenberry deals. Quisenberry, 5-7. 5-7, strikeout 9, and no, that will miss. Witt, 5-6, and it's a fly ball to right field. Getting over there will be Quirk. He will make the catch for out number 1. Does Mosby get to third? 3-5, no, he holds. So Mosby holds at second base. They can't move him over. 1 out, and here's Griffin. Griffin's had a great night, 4 for 5. 3 singles and a double. They're not going to lose this game because of him. Mosby on it, second. Strategy, that's a 16. And nothing happening there. You don't do hit and runs with runner on second. Quisenberry, Quisenberry is now tired. He is now tired, but he will pitch. Quisenberry, 1-3 against the switch left. It's a blank. Griffin, 3-2. That's a fly to center field. That'll be handled by Otis. For out number 2, does Mosby take third on a fly to center? 4-6. No, he holds. So now 2 down. And the last chance for the Blue Jays is Damaso Garcia. Garcia is 0 for 5. You kind of think he's due. Mosby on at second, 2 men down. Bottom of the 11th, 7-5. Strategy roll. That's a 20. Garcia can't bunt. He's got a bat. Quisenberry looking in on Garcia. Fans here at the X hoping Garcia can at least keep the game going. The Quiz will pitch. 1-7. It's a blank. Garcia. 7-3. And Garcia keeps it alive. It's going to be a double to center field. Mosby will come around. He will score. Garcia on its second. It's 7-6. The game will continue. A double to center field. That brings in the free runner. And now the last chance is Al Woods. Woods is 1 for 4, doubled and walked. Quisenberry's still tired, but they're going to still keep him. Garcia on at second. And I wonder if you put, I don't think you put the winning run on first. Quisenberry's got to pitch. Quisenberry will pitch to Woods. 2 outs, bottom of the 11th, now 7-6. Strategy, that's a 1, but Garcia will stay where he is. Quisenberry looking in on Woods. The fans here at Exhibition Stadium hoping that Woods can keep it going. Quisenberry will pitch. 6-1 against the lefty. It's a blank. Woods, 5-3. And it's a ground ball to first. That ball is hit to John Wath, and he gets it. Runs to the bag. Jumps on the bag. That's your game. Royals will hold off the Blue Jays tonight, 7-6. Stadium groans. So the Royals come away with a win. Big win here for the Royals as Woods grounds out to first. And a big win here for the Royals. The Blue Jays take a tough loss. 1 run on 1 hit in the 11th. As the Royals will now go to 73-37, the Blue Jays drop to 56-52. Final line score coming up. For the Royals in 11 innings, 7 runs, 13 hits, 1 error. For the Blue Jays, 6 runs, 12 hits, no errors. The winning pitcher is Dan Quisenberry. He's going to wind up with the win, and Willis is going to wind up with the loss. So a tough game there for the Blue Jays, but a 7-6 win for the Royals tonight. We're not done. 10-minute ticker is up next. That was a good game. I think you guys enjoyed that. Except for Cutter Historical. For some reason, his Blue Jays can't get a win. Blue Jays can't get a win sometimes on the network. It is now time for the 10-minute ticker, brought to you by FastScore Baseball. So a 7-6 win for the Royals over the Blue Jays, as they will get a big win there. Let's see how the rest of the majors does tonight. August 9th, White Sox at Red Sox. White Sox 6:33, that's 3. Red Sox 10:42, that's 4, a win for the Red Sox. Minnesota at California. Angels 9:66, that's 10. Angels 14:65, that's 9, a win for the Twins. Indians and the Brewers. Indians 5-16, 1 run. Brewers 19-16, 3 runs, a win for the Brew Crew. Orioles and the Yankees. Orioles 10-34, that's 4 runs. Yankees 10-54, that's 6 runs, a win for the Yanks. Mariners and the A's. Mariners -466, that's 7. Oakland 9-16, and that is 2, a win for the M's. Detroit at the Rangers. Tigers 14-46, that's 6. Rangers 10-56, that is 6, and they're going to extras. Detroit rolls a 2, -2 is 0. Rangers roll a 1, -2 is -1. 0 beats -1. That's going to be a win for Detroit. Giants and Atlanta. Giants 2-15, that's 1. Braves 10-14, that's 1, and they're going to extras. Giants roll a 6, +1 is 7. Braves roll a 1, +1 is 2, and the G-men will get the win. Expos and the Cubs in a doubleheader. Expos 9-26, that will be 3. Cubs 2-36, and that is also going to be 3, and they're going to extras. A lot of extras tonight. Montreal rolls a 2, +0. Cubs roll a 5, -1 is 4, and the Cubs will get the win. Expos and the Cubs again. Expos 4-55, that is 5. Cubs 15-24, that is 3. They'll split the twin bill. Dodgers and the Reds. Dodgers 8-46, that's 5. Reds 3-43, and that is 3. That's a win for the Dodgers. Padres and the Astros. Padres 3-63, and that'll be 6. Astros 6-65, that's 8. Another win for the Stros. They're 20 games ahead in the National League West. They're going to probably be the number 1 overall seed in the playoffs. Philadelphia at Pittsburgh. Phillies 12-33, that is 4. Pirates 945. That is 5, a win for the Bucks. The Bucks are in third. They got a good hold on third place. They just got to get above 500. Mets and the Cardinals. Mets 652. That's 5. Cardinals 914. That is 1. And my Mets will have a happy recap. August 10th, White Sox at Boston. White Sox 661, and that is 6. Red Sox 1641, and that's 5. Another win for the Pale Hose. Minnesota at Cali. Minnesota 1342, that's 5 runs. Angels 964, that is 8 runs, a win for the Halos. Cleveland at Milwaukee in a doubleheader. Indians 1165, that is 9. Brewers 28-21, that's only 4. Indians win the first. Indians 1061, that is 7. Brewers 2014, that is 3. And the Indians win both games. Milwaukee loses 2 bad losses to Indians. Baltimore and the Yankees. Orioles 1061, that is 7. Yankees 1363, that is 8. A win for the Yankees as they're trying to pull ahead from Baltimore. Seattle at Oakland in a doubleheader. Mariners 635, and that's 3. A's 1065, that's 9. They win the first. Game number 2. Mariners 252, and that's 4. Athletics 2062, that'll be 9, and the A's win both. Detroit at Texas. Tigers 1423, that'll be 3 runs. Rangers 1255, that's 6 runs. Rangers win it 6-3. Royals and the Blue Jays. Royals 2031, that's 5. Blue Jays 523, and that is 2. Another win for the Royals. Giants and the Braves. Giants 225, 2 runs. Braves 845, and that's 5 runs. The Bravos will win that. Expos and the Cubs. Expos 1566, that's 11. Cubs 313, that's 0. As the Expos obliterated them. Dodgers and the Reds. Dodgers 842, that's 4. Reds 1254, that is 6. That game belongs to the Reds. Padres and the Astros. Padres 562, that's 6. Astros 624, and that's 2. Friars win. Phillies and the Pirates in a doubleheader. Phillies 835, that's 4. Pirates 1711, that's 1. Phillies win the first. Phillies 1026, that'll be 3. Pirates 1111, that's 0. And the Phillies win both. Those are 2 tough losses for Pittsburgh. We may only have 5 teams in the National League postseason the way it's going at the moment. Mets and the Cardinals. Mets 1454, that is 7. Cardinals 1336, and that is 4. And my Mets get another happy recap. August 11th, Boston at Detroit. Red Sox 1226, that's 3. Tigers 2255, that'll be 8, a win for the Cats. Baltimore at the Royals, a big game, a big series here. Orioles 833, that's 3. Royals 1043, and that's 5. Another win for Kansas City. White Sox and the Yankees. White Sox minus 446, that's 3. Yankees 862, that's 7. Phillies and the Cubs. Phillies 1555, that will be 7. Cubs 925, that is 3. Another win for the Fighting Phils. Braves and the Dodgers. Braves minus 116, that's 1. Dodgers 1165, that's 9. Win for them. Mets and the Pirates. Mets 566, that is 9. Pirates 1153, that is 6. And my Mets sweep A happy recap tonight. Reds and the Padres. Reds 943, that's 4. Padres 644, that is also 4. They're going to extras. Reds roll a 3 plus 1 is 4. Padres roll a 6 plus 0 is 6. And the Padres will get the win. Astros and the Giants. Astros 111, that's 0. Giants 156, that's 5. The Giants will get the win. Expos and the Cardinals. Expos 1454, and that's 7. Cardinals 733, and that is 3. And the Expos will get the win. That is your 10-minute ticker. If your team won tonight, congratulations. If they didn't, there's always tomorrow. Tomorrow will be August 12th. We will be at the Mistake by the Lake Municipal Stadium. Texas Rangers at Cleveland Indians. Fergie Jenkins for the Rangers. Rick Waits for the Indians. Be there or be square. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Please leave a like on your way out the turnstiles. I think this game deserved it. Subscribe if you're not done so, and make sure you hit the bell. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay smart, stay strong, and we'll see you guys tomorrow night. The Royals clipped the wings of the Bluebirds. They needed 11 innings, but they get the job done 7-6. See you guys tomorrow night.